It's snowing. Welcome back to Whitt Acres. The ground's finally hard. Winter's actually setting in now. It's the middle of January and they're calling for about a foot of snow tonight. So before the storm comes, I want to get the food forest covered with a new layer of wood chip. And then whenever the snow comes, it'll get it all moist and wet. No, not moist. I want to get a new layer of wood chips on the food forest that'll cover up the layer I put on last year. And that last year's layer will start breaking down underneath the new layer. That way I'll have some decent soil coming in the spring whenever all the snow falls. You can see our heavy clay soil is sitting water, and all that water sitting in the ground is frozen. Taking Echo Pup for his morning walk, so he's going to sniff around the barn, which is the home of Whitt Acres Homestead. Go ahead and check out that channel. But we're going to check out the test pond that I have dug out here in the field. You can see it is frozen solid out here. And so is the test hole. We dug this hole to see if our ground's going to hold water and we don't have to put a liner in a pond. So this is about 9 feet deep and it's probably pretty solid. Yep, it's solid. So this is probably 1.5 inches thick, and yeah, we're holding water. What do you think, Pop? Come here. You're too cold on your feet, Pop. Get in. Come on, come here. Just running around it, Pop. Get in. All right, all right. Come on, Pop. Yeah, you silly. Yeah, yeah. Come on. We are getting some wood chips spread here on the food forest before the big snowstorm comes. I want to get these spread out so they can break down underneath the snow. All the snow is going to keep them nice and moist, really help with the breakdown process. So I'm trying to get this all done today before the snow comes. I'm Pop. First, we got a long way to go. Alright, we got a good portion of this end of the food forest done. Got it around the nectarine tree, over to the peach tree, and down the azalea line. But we'll have to get it around the middle there next to the maple tree, and then over against the berries on the other side. But it's time to go in and get some lunch, and maybe we'll start up again after lunch, but trying to get things done piece by piece. I'm Pop. So here is the food forest in January. I got it pretty much cleaned up. I didn't cut down my okra, but no big deal. Got everything else piled up in the middle here. My little herb container here is kind of frozen solid. I guess I could have put a cloche or a cover over that and they would have done a little bit better. Well, maybe next year. We got a little bit of mulch, new mulch over there by the pomegranate tree, but all this needs to get covered in a new fresh layer of mulch. Got the strawberry bed here, still kind of green. Trying to have it about 3 to 4 inches thick, and that'll help break down the wood chip layer underneath. We're supposed to get about 6 to 12 inches of snow here, so I just want to get a few things done before we get blanketed in snow and I can't do any work out here. Puppy's gonna help. You gonna help, Pup? He's heading over to the wood chip pal. There she is. Yep. Puppy's gonna help. We got that much wood chips and hopefully it's enough to spread on the food forest. I didn't make a video on the poplar bed here, but I did get some fabric down so it can help kill the weeds off. I put some weed fabric across this little poplar garden that we made in this past season. Couldn't get it mulched, so the weeds kind of took over it, so I decided I wanted to get all this weed fabric down and covered, and that'll hold the weeds off. As the weather warms up, those weeds won't really take off because they don't have the light anymore. And then once spring comes, I'll get some mulch in here and get it all layered with mulch and clean looking. This time of year, I'm just trying to get things done and picking off little jobs here and there. Like the pergola right now needs all these vines torn off the top of it from the gourds, but I'm not going to tear them off because these vines are hard to pull. They're very fibrous and you kind of can't really get them. You need to break them off. So what I do is I wait until winter really sets in and the vines get brittle and hard, and then I can just walk up there and snap them all off real easy. You waiting, pup? I'm coming. I'm coming, puppy. We got the greenhouse all hunkered down for the storm as well, and the pond. Here is the DIY koi pond I'm building out here. Mostly me and my dad are getting this done. It's a little bit bigger than I was originally planning, but I think it's going to turn out pretty nice. We just got stopped by the weather. It's too cold out here to be setting stone in. I don't want to be working with the rubber liner or the pipe with it being this cold. I don't want to risk snapping or chipping anything, putting a hole into the liner. So we're kind of in a stall period here. We got all the water drained out of the bottom there and some more stone in there, so it's not pulling too much water, but we still have ice down in the bottom there. Hopefully that pond's going to be able to hold out until the weather breaks again and we can get it finished. So stay tuned for the finished product of that pond. It's going to be nice. Here in the cold frame, I really don't have anything in here except for a hyacinth. I have a little pink hyacinth trying to bloom in here. Started during the warmer days and I think it stopped because we got the real cold chill happening. Some carrots left in here too, and then here's an onion. So we'll see what happens with those, but it's kind of cool that that hyacinth is already blooming. Trying to get some firewood stocked up before the big storm. Alright, so we decided not to do any more work on the food forest. We just got about a third of it done yesterday, and we're not going to start the hoe up in the cold weather right now. It'd just be not really worth it. So what we did instead was get some firewood cut, so we have plenty of wood to keep it warm on the wood burner in the house. And then I took some tarps and covered up the waterfall portion and certain parts of the pond, and then put a little brace on the cold frame lid there you saw. So it should be ready for the 6 to 12 inches of snow they're calling for, and I'm going inside to get warm. That's all for this one. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Break. The storm has started. Maybe next video I'll show you what it looks like after all the snow falls. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below before you leave. See us on the next one.